And welcome back
Boys, we got snacks.
to part 2 of our session. Father Indiano has joined us again. Yay.
Yay.
Welcome. You don't sound very excited.
Dude, I'm tired.
Okay, so are we fast forwarding to... Yeah, we're fast forwarding to the party.
Yep.
I did write down the timestamp.
Good.
Pog.
I
Smart
never
boy.
forget. Okay, so we fast forward to the night of the party. What do I want to play for music?
Celebrate good times.
I wonder if this one will work.
I like some bullshit classical music.
Make sure it's not copyrighted.
Everything I play is copyrighted.
Careless Whisper.
Okay.
Exactly,
So-
Jeffy, exactly.
You guys, we're gonna just assume you guys. Did you want to take your horses, or do you want to like take a wagon, like a taxi, type thing?
I want to take my horse.
We should roll
I
up
love
in
my-
one of those ghost rock cars.
A steam wagon. Alright. You take your
Just so we're
horses.
clear, I have my backpack with me. I don't care if it's a formal event or not.
Okay.
Yeah, she's about to steal all the silverware right in the backpack.
All of it. Every single fucking piece of silverware will go in the backpack.
Let's
You're
get
not
it.
Dusk.
I'm joking.
You
I don't
all-
want to know. I'm not.
You all stride up to the front of the manor, the Barker Manor. It is more flamboyant from the other places you've seen in town. It's older. This seems like a new home, or a new home. This seems pretty well taken care of. It looks like it probably has existed since the beginning of Denver. You can see there are some damages on it where like people in the past have tried to burn it down, or like people have thrown stuff through windows. You can see these obvious like new windows versus old windows and stuff like that. But it seems this manor has seen a lot of time in its life. Yep. Other people have shown up. Everyone else has shown up in wagons. They all get out and the wagon drives away. You don't know if it's servants or if it's a public service. No telling. There is a place at the front of the manor to tie horses, and there are armed men who are instructing people to take a side door to the back garden. I'm gonna roll to see who arrives the same time as you. Let's see, how many people can arrive?
Just before they get knifed out of the guards.
Watch it be like a Herod Jedediah.
Actually, wait, never mind. Never mind, I changed my mind.
Didn't we kill Jedediah?
Yeah.
Arrowed.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
joke.
Herod.
All right, no one is there.
Pog.
So what do you guys do? You want to tie your horses and head to the back garden?
I will do
Yeah.
so.
Yep.
Let's go.
Alright. The armed men watch you guys pass. One of them mentions, he calls back. Let's see, how many of you are there? 6?
Are we including
Yeah.
the flock?
Did you bring the flock?
Yes.
Oh no.
Were
No.
they invited?
They're always
They weren't
invited.
invited.
They can wait outside.
They can wait outside. They're so
Okay.
dedicated.
How about you turn to your flock and convince them to stay outside?
Listen, my children. You are not invited in this house.
But why, Father?
Oh, no.
What's going on?
Sadly, you weren't invited, but
Father, I don't wish to leave your side.
Please, Father, don't make us go.
Wait, have I not edited?
It's okay, my child. I shall return to you soon.
Please don't make us wait.
Father, we haven't had food since breakfast.
Please, may I have some more?
If you all are hungry, they offer quite a bit of food near the service stores.
You said to stay here. We
That
can't
would
get
still be here.
Father, you haven't given us any money this month.
The offerings, they've been slim.
If you want, I can find a different way in.
Oh, as
Oh,
long
but
as
that would
it's
be dishonest, brother.
I do only the most resourceful things.
as long as it's okay in the eyes of our Lord, then however you get in is fine by me.
So the front door.
I will see what I can do. And Ryan will do nothing, but it's just flavor.
Okay. So the flock stay outside. The guard calls back, 6 entering. Go on through. They're gonna check your weapons at the door.
You know, they gotta make sure we wait outside until, you know, people have left the store because there's only a certain capacity. So, because, you know, COVID. Whatever.
I would like to put the daggers in my boots.
In front of the guard?
No, not in... no. I would like to be like, pardon me, I must deposit some items on my horse. Pardon me, I must deposit some items on my horse.
Feel
Ooh,
free.
That's not the right accent. That's not the right accent at all. Then I
That's
will
pretty
do
good,
that.
though.
I will put my bow on my horse, and I will put, I'll put the damage dagger on the horse. I'll keep my ghost rock dagger, and put my Bowie knife on the horse as well. So I have my ghost rock Bowie knife, and my and the ritual dagger that we got from the cultist.
Okay.
One in each boot, preferably. That being said, my boots are covered by my very fancy dress.
Are they actively searching people or just expecting you to give it over?
You don't know.
Okay, well, I'm gonna see.
right through.
I'm gonna march right up to the where they're checking the weapons and stuff.
So you head through the door,
Mhm.
and you see is a leafed-in archway tunnel, or like a hedge archway that heads to another door where you see there is another man waiting. This one is wearing a finer suit than the others. He has a white hat on, a white Stetson, and he looks like an older gentleman. And calls out, tips his head. Evening, lady. Gonna have
Good
to do
evening,
some.
sir.
Gonna have to ask you to leave your weapons at the door, and I'll also have to search for anything that Mr. Barker wouldn't want around the premises.
Okay. I like pull out my pacemaker or peacemaker. Sorry.
Oh my god, just whipping your heart and pull the sucker.
I pull out my peacemaker and I hand him my electrostatic knife. And the dynamite that I had in my backpack. I open my backpack. I hand him the dynamite. And then I have, you know, my fuck around and find out box is just like a metal box with holes in it. So I explained to him that that's where I keep my makeup. And
Okay.
then I have.
Roll a persuasion check. At -2.
Because buzzing.
Oh, shit, you're right. It is buzzing. I didn't think this
There's
through.
bees.
Shit. Okay, well,
Bees in your makeup. I'm gonna cry.
What's he gonna do
He
though?
says-
Open it up to find out?
There, back
Yeah,
in the
he
day,
Maybe
says-
it's maybe.
Find
have-
out. Come on.
He says,
people
right.
did.
He says, right, ma'am. We're gonna have to leave that here. If you need makeup, you can come here. We'd be glad to give it to you in the moment.
fine. Okay, I hand it over. My
Puts it on the
like-
table.
my electric glove device. I'm gonna try to hold on to as many of these as I can. My electric glove device is like a little silver. This is a mason jar cap, but like it's a little silver thing. And I explained to him it's a little hand mirror.
Roll a persuasion check at -2.
Oh my god. We're just gonna do this for every single one of them. Huh?
Yeah, well, I only have one more after this, so it's fine.
I love it.
No,
I love
this
it
is-
so
Hold on
much.
to your stuff. This is
he's-
my little like hand mirror. I pretend to open and close it really quick, like I would.
Man, let's just leave that with the with your other stuff. That looks kind of dangerous of a hand mirror, gotta say.
You know, my looks can be dangerous sometimes. I don't know what to tell you. And then my last thing, I don't know if I'll be able to. My blammo box looks like a bomb, so I'm just gonna hand it over.
It's just a straight up pipe bomb, dude.
It's like a little it's like a little grenade almost. It looks like a modern day grenade, you know, where you pull a pin and like kind of throw
A
it.
pineapple grenade.
And it's got like a little compartment on the bottom where you can like actually see Ghost Rock on the bottom. So I'm just like, yeah, you can have this.
Okay. Set that away from the
Yeah,
others. Like they have a different compartment for that item. They like put it in
So-
like a
not
lead.
dangerous. It's
Yeah,
not
they put it in a
dangerous.
lead
Just
box.
Don't touch the pin on top, and you'll be fine. It's really not dangerous, I swear.
So is the garden surrounded by like a wall?
The hedge, yeah. The hedge operates as a wall.
Okay, so while she's doing that, can Bo sneak off to the part of the hedge and just toss his
He just like melts into the hedge.
That would be a stealth check at -1.
Okay. Six.
Alright, let me roll notice for Mr. Isaac Foreman.
What a guy. What a name.
Foreman.
George Foreman.
Mm-hmm.
Grill.
It's his brother.
George
Oh, I
Foreman grill.
see.
I burnt my foot on a George Foreman grill.
All right. You managed to shove your way, piercing your arms in and opening a way in the hedge for just a moment for you to squeeze through like you're being birthed by a dryad.
That wasn't the goal, but sure, this works.
That's the only way to get through the hedge.
He was just gonna toss the claws in there so they didn't get found. But it works.
Oh, you want to just like throw items in there?
Bo has
He was gonna toss the
vanished.
claws in so that he could get it from the other side later.
The other side is not on the premises.
Oh, never mind. Then he's through.
All right, so you're just shoving your way through, or you just going? What's
in.
happening? Okay,
He's-
just rip your way in. Whoever's behind you, I want to say Howie watches you do this. Just like rip your way through
I'm
into
imagining
the
how he
hedge.
just whispers,
Well,
nice.
I guess Howie's got to try now too.
Is this
No.
like an Ace Ventura kind of situation?
No, my
It
stealth
goes
is not
so much
good enough
worse.
for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, Ginny, is there anything you're keeping on your person? Any weapons on your person?
I have like a small like pocket knife that I'd rather keep hidden in a secret compartment in my backpack. And like I didn't want to cause any like super big suspicion, so I tried
Okay.
not to keep my big things with me. So
They're gonna
Just,
pat you
yeah.
down.
and some of my tools and stuff, just because like I'm a blacksmith, I'd like to keep those with me because they're important
Alright,
to me.
yeah. They're gonna pat you down as like I just want to know
Okay.
if you had any weapons that you're trying to hide from them.
I mean, my knife. I can put my knife in between my boobs, my cleavage, because they're not gonna touch me there. Maybe.
Probably
roll thievery against Isaac's notice.
Thievery? I don't think I have thievery.
Then you're rolling
stealth.
untrained.
Okay.
Oof.
Great.
All right,
I don't like going unprotected.
All right, so Isaac pats down your arms, your legs. He searches your backpack. He lets you keep some of the tools, not all of them. He's like the big ass wrench. He's like, let's not. Puts it to the side.
Let's not do this.
But what if I
It's
need
like-
it?
He lets you keep the tools that he can mark as passable, safe for everyone involved. Like the tools that
At
you
least I have
couldn't
my
like.
hammer.
No, your hammer could anything that could be easily used to kill someone. He doesn't let you keep.
All right.
Um,
Fine.
yeah, and then he points at your cleave and says, "Ma'am, I can see some metal in there."
I don't like being unprotected. You go. Hand it to him.
Looks at it. It's just a small pocket knife, right?
Just a very small pocket knife. Yeah.
He says, "This is passable for protection." Hands it back
Thank
to you.
you. Take it right back in.
You're clear to go on through, and you pass on.
Well, it's just
who's
kind of
next?
inside waiting for you.
So, Howie, were you trying to get into the hedge as well?
I was considering it, but no. I'm just gonna try to walk through with my big iron on my hip.
All right, they stop you. Says, "Sir, we need you to put your weapons to the side. We're also gonna have to search you."
But it's just a pistol. It's not like it's dangerous.
He doesn't ask. He just reaches in and takes your pistol and puts it on the desk.
Okay.
And then he
Wow.
Other than that, I left the boomerang on my horse, and I can take a knife? ?
Depending on if it's a Bowie knife, you cannot take it.
No, it is a knife.
It's a normal knife. All right, they'll allow that. It lets you pass through. He does check you. I don't think you have anything else that could be used to kill someone.
Oh, I have
Just his hot
dynamite.
body.
They take the dynamite. Unless
That's pretty
do
important.
you want to try to hide the dynamite?
I would like the dynamite, yeah.
Okay, so you're
No.
gonna have to roll thievery against his notice. And you succeed. They don't find the dynamite.
They probably don't want me to have the crowbar, which I have.
They'll take the crowbar. I don't think you can hide that.
Shove it up
Just
his ass.
carrying it around, just open carrying a crowbar.
Open carrying a crowbar.
Probably
Do you have
not.
a carry permit for that, sir?
Yes, I do.
Let me check your inventory.
It's just a picture of a crowbar and it
Lockpicks,
says, "I do what I
question mark.
want."
I'm gonna say you managed to sneak your lockpicks through.
Okay.
It doesn't look like you have anything else that's of notice.
They let me keep my ammo.
Yeah, they don't have a reason to take that.
Good.
Because you're probably not going to find another gun,
Good.
as far as they know.
I have literally a gun that can appear in my pocket at any point in time.
They don't fucking know that.
Yes.
Are you telling that to him?
No, I am not.
Alright, they let you pass through. Who's next?
I'll go.
Let's take
And
your time.
and before I do, I want to play Epiphany. And I would like to choose. Hold on. What is it? Is it F that inspects the card?
Is it what?
What button do I press to make the card look? What? How do I make it bigger?
Z.
Z. Thank you. I would. Hello.
Hello.
Z. There we go. I would like to gain a D6 in the skill of thievery.
Okay.
And yes.
Yep. For the
Then I would
remainder
like-
of the game session, you have a D6 in thievery.
Yep. And then I would like to try to sneak the 2 knives in my boots past.
All right. Roll thievery.
Thievery. That was. Can I just roll a D6?
D6 exclamation or roll. Yeah, roll a D6 exclamation and then make sure you roll your wild die as well.
So roll d6 twice.
All right.
You need to do 1d6. If you just put d6, it's gonna pop
Oh,
up as 1. If you typed that.
I did type that. There we go. And then here's a wild die. That's not what I wanted to be there. I'm sorry, I'm struggling. Okay, let's see. 4. I'm gonna use a Benny on that because I really want these knives.
Okay.
Boom. All right.
One more.
Terms of leg.
It is reroll. It is rolling the dice. All right. Give me another one, please.
Go ahead.
Oh my goodness.
Yikes. That's a critical
I want
failure.
to die. I literally want to die. This is so sad.
Do you happen to have the cursed or the trouble magnet?
I do not.
Okay. With a critical failure, he's gonna find the knives.
Yep.
I don't think I need to make
Yikes.
it too much worse than that.
That's rough, buddy.
Obviously,
Okay,
they
hold
don't
on.
let you keep. Obviously, if you still have your flamethrower on you, they don't let you keep that.
I do not have a flamethrower. The only things
Um,
of suspicion that I have are 2 handcuffs.
All right, they're gonna take your knives, and they
Who
put them
needs those
aside.
handcuffs for, Rose?
They take your pens and they put them aside, because like Isaac logs you as someone who's good at stabbing people, so he takes your pens and puts them aside.
At this, she says, wait, is there any way that I could take one of them in? I know that I may not have given you the most reason to trust me. I do need to have the ability to write things down. It's how I process things. Is there anything I can do? Maybe like dull the tip or something like that to make it so I'm able to have a pen or a writing utensil of some kind? I don't need 2, or I don't need all of them. I just need 1.
He whistles, and a guard appears. One of the other guardsmen says, "Yes, Mr. Foreman." Says, "I'm gonna hand you this pen, and you're gonna follow this lady around. And anytime she wants to write something, you give her the pen, but then you take it back. Got it?" He says,
Got
"Yes,
it.
sir, Mr. Foreman." And he hands him
Thank you.
the pen. All right. And he
It's
says,
nice to meet
got a
you. My name is
bodyguard.
Rose Ward. I think we might get to know each other quite well this evening.
tips his hat to you. Isaac also, before letting you continue, says one extra thing, and like knocks on your hat, and we hear the ding 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 of a metal hat. Says that's gonna have to go as well.
Wait. Oh, you're right. My hat is metal.
Wait, he has that armored hat?
At this point, Rose says, "Oh my goodness, you're right. That totally slipped my mind." And she just hands it right to him.
Yeah, he puts it on the table. The table's getting big now.
Oh no, and I didn't do my hair. Nah,
Yeah.
that's a lie. I did do my hair.
And he lets you pass through. The guard who's now accompanied to you hands another guard his rifle and like holds his arm out for you to hold on.
Rose does so.
Yeah, and you guys walk in. Who's next?
I guess it's my turn.
I'm so sad.
Alright, Willie approaches.
Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out of 6 rolls, I rolled 4 ones.
Yep. Willie, if I recall, you're wearing like a suit.
Yes.
Isaac seems favorable to this. He like tips his hat as you approach, says, "I can recognize a working woman."
Willie tips her hat back at him. She has her peacemaker in her holster on her side. She freely hands that over, but she does have her derringer like underneath her waistcoat.
Okay.
What about her pacemaker?
Are you trying to hide it from him?
Yeah.
All right, thievery.
Come on, boys. No crit fails. Let's get it. Because I don't have it, so. Fuck!
Unfortunately, I did roll a 14.
Yeah, but it's still, it's better than a -1.
True. So he searches you. He pats against your waist and he feels the derringer. And he looks up to you and he says, "You're not going to cause any trouble with this, are you?"
No, sir. I recognize that we are in a building with a lot of powerful people. You never know what might happen.
I'll choose to believe you. And he keeps going. And he
Yes,
searches the rest of
power
you.
bias.
He takes anything else. I'm going to check your inventory for things that could be used to kill someone.
I don't think I have anything, and I also think it goes without saying that the shotgun is not on my person.
Yeah. Yeah, so he lets you pass. All right. Next up is Father Indiano. I think he's the last one.
Like he has any weapons on him.
Jagger?
Yes.
He said yes.
I don't have any on me.
You do have a derringer on you.
It's not carried.
You're not carrying it? Okay. He checks you. He doesn't find anything. He says, lets you pass, says, "Have a good evening, Father.
You
Do
too,
be
my
careful. Lots of sinners in there."
Ow.
Got him.
Yeah, and you guys pass through. So while you guys move into the party, we're going to do a quick camera shift over to Bo, who has gone to the other side of the hedge. Bo, you are in between the hedge and the fence. Like, got in between it.
Ninja.
Ninja!
Where do you want to go? Are you just
Over the
trying to make your
fence.
way over the fence? All right. Roll an athletics for me.
Well, I'm not very good at those.
Bro, I'm gonna cry if he just falls flat on his ass.
I'm great at those.
You quickly and silently bring yourself onto the fence, and you're able to have a bird's eye view. You can see over the top of the hedge, the party. The fence continues on into the backyard, and it's always covered by some kind of leaves and forget what they call them. Plumage?
Plumage for birds.
Like ivy?
Yeah. I'm gonna keep with plumage.
Foliage.
A plumage of leaves.
Is it foliage?
Foliage.
That's
Foliage.
the word.
Foliage. Foliage. Yeah,
Plumage.
that's the word. Yeah, so you can stay on this fence and stay undercover if you would like.
Fog.
Actually, yeah, let's do that. I'm just gonna stay undercover. There's no reason to expose myself.
You just sneak on the fence and sneak your way in. You see guards below you, and you laugh and mock them because no one ever looks up.
It's worked out much better than I expected. Damn.
That's what happens when you get a raise on athletics.
Yeah, just make his way towards the house, I guess. Shit.
The rest of you enter the party. You see there's about 30 or 40 people here, all kind of mingling and talking with each other. There's servants wandering around with trays of champagne moving around the party. You see it's the back of the house. There is a deck that leads to a double doors that goes into the home. The doors are currently closed. On the deck, you see 3 people. You see Samuel Dean. You see Mayor William J. Barker. And you see Barker also has a woman at his side. You assume she is probably his wife.
Does he have a ring on?
Do you want to make a notice check?
Sure.
He is
Barker
not
looks
wearing a
like
ring.
Simultaneously,
Oh,
the
it's
best
not his
person
wife.
to talk to and the worst.
Mijo, he looks like Uncle Sam.
Yeah. You also notice for a notice roll, you also notice that Barker does have a full bottle of whiskey in his hand. And it's just, instead of a cup, he just has the bottles just sipping out of it every so often. All right. So, I want everyone to roll a d8, and I'm gonna tell you who you first see in this party.
Well, fuck.
Do I gotta roll another one?
A D8.
No, it can't explode. Okay. Howie and Indiano, you guys end up pairing up and traveling together for the moment, and you both find
Squad.
yourself gravitating through the tides of the people moving around. You find yourself in front of 4 people. Each of them like greet you and they start asking like, how do you do? Who are you? What brings you here? And they like start talking to you. We'll get more into that in detail.
Who are you?
Wait a minute.
Willie.
Who are
Who
you?
are you?
I want to focus on Willie. So I'm going to come to her last.
Pog. Special.
Ben, you find
Yes.
yourself face to face with Edward Chase.
Ow.
Chase. That's actually who I wanted to find.
Yeah, you find yourself face to face with Edward Chase. He is accompanied by Bert Blake, who
Got it.
still has his arm in a sling.
Rip.
Oof. I actually do kind of feel bad about that.
Ginny, you find yourself. You hear someone talking. You hear a political conversation going on between 2 men, and you hear a voice that's not familiar to you, but is familiar to others, of U.S. Marshal Hugh Tucker. He's like,
Tucker!
he's like, what I'm saying is people need laws or things start getting out of hand. And you see another fellow with him, who's like, I understand, Marshal Tucker, but also laws just constrain the folk and stop them from reaching their full potential. I'm just saying the way the Union does it isn't quite good. And they start having like this argumentative debate with each other. But we're gonna come back to that. What I want to focus on is Miss Mosley.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Mosley,
That's my name.
you hear a voice call out to you. It says, what's your full name? Wilhelmina?
Yeah, Wilhelmina.
Yeah. It says, Wilhelmina Mosley. I didn't think these types of events would interest you. And you turn and you see two men walk up to you that you recognize as Pinkertons.
Great.
One of them you know, the other one you don't. The one who spoke to you is the one you know. His name is Percy Yates. They're both wearing the Pinkerton bowler hat, the suit. They seem to have come here sort of on business. The other one doesn't speak. He just nods in your direction. Says, "How do you do, Miss Mosley?"
Doing well, Mr. Yates. How have you been since the last time we spoke?
I'm doing fine. Lots of cases keeping me busy in those hills. Lots of Indian uprisings.
I'm sure that's mighty taxing. You boys look like you're here on business.
A little bit. Always keeping our eyes on the folk in here, making sure nothing strange is going on. But how about yourself? How are you doing? Keeping nice and safe in this here town?
Staying as safe as I can. I'm here on business as well, so there's no short jobs are in no short supply around Denver, as I'm sure you may know.
The city is plentiful with economy. He looks around and he calls over a waiter. This waiter doesn't have champagne. They have Kentucky bourbon. And he says, "I recall this being a rather favorite of yours, and I imagine you might need this." And hands it to you.
Like, oh my god, you remembered.
Willie takes it, nods her head.
Oh, Will, you didn't forget me?
I imagine so. Dealing with these sorts of uppity types isn't exactly my forte, but I suppose I'm gonna have to get good at it sooner or later.
Yeah, yes. Do be careful around here. A lot of people would love to know some strange news. Do me a favor. He points across where you see there is a man with glasses who is talking to, let's see. He's talking to a man in a bishop's uniform. Sure. A man talking to a priest, and he points to the man in glasses, and he says, "Whatever you do, avoid him for this party. Don't need any rumors getting out."
Willie doesn't ask any questions, just nods her head and says, "Yes, indeed, might want to keep that under wraps for a little while longer, huh?"
Yes, ma'am. Also, I don't believe you have met Mr. William here. And he just nods his head. He is my muscle man in town, I suppose. He handles a lot of my business for me. He will be keeping an eye on this party. Do enjoy your time, Mrs. Mosley.
You as well.
Yeah. Yates moves on. Mr. William stays for a moment just to like stare you down, and then slowly moves on as well.
That's creepy.
A little bit.
Looking for some smash.
Becky,
Vicky, let me smash.
Let me smash. That's it. I forgot the word.
no, no,
No, Ron.
Okay.
Becky, please let me smash.
Let's see. Who do we want to switch to next? Would anyone like to go next?
I'm willing to go next.
With Mr. Chase?
Yeah, I want to hear this conversation.
It's not going to go the way you guys expect.
That
So you find yourself meeting eyes with Mr. Chase, and he quickly puts on a business smile and says, "Miss Ward,
Mr.
pleasant
Chase,
surprise to see you here."
just who I was hoping to see.
Yeah. Bert just kind of, with his free hand, nods a hat in your direction.
Bert, how is
Uh,
the recovery going?
Rough and grueling, but I'm alive.
I do apologize for having
Yeah.
you
Bert
go through that on our behalf.
Bert looks different than usual. The Bert Blake that you have seen has always been kind of a rough type. Never really ever clean, and he's always wearing like his old fur cloak and duster underneath. The Bert you see before you is freshly showered, wearing a tuxedo suit, a new, better holster for his arm. Forgot the word in the moment. He is wearing a smaller bowler hat instead of his usual Stetson, and his hair has been waxed back. And he clearly looks like uncomfortable here.
Same.
Why, Mr. Blake, you look quite nice. Although I'm sure it's not your favorite sort of get up.
Yeah, he says, "I fucking hate these stupid parties." And Chase says, "Yes, but you are the best man to accompany me to them, Mr. Blake." He says, "Yeah, you just love to watch me suffer." Like, picks up some champagne and just downs it.
Rose does like a dainty laugh. Well, there is some good news that I would like for you to know. I'm sure you are aware that we went to get that we are. Fuck me, I can't talk. Excuse me. I'm sure that you are aware that we went to get a house under the name.
Yes, I did get the confirmation that the files and paperwork were submitted and processed. Congratulations for being a homeowner.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chase. On our way out of the official buildings, we ran into contact with one Mr. Dean, secretary to Hawthorne?
Hornsby.
Secretary to Hornsby, who I believe is running up against Mr. I closed the handout. Why did I close the handout?
Barker.
Secretary to Mr. Barker. And more on Samuel Dean later. But he did inform us. And I would like to glance around at this point to see that nobody's like listening too closely.
Chase sees you like looking around, and he says, "Oh," and he waves his hand, and like everybody that's around you just takes 5 steps out.
Perfect.
What the fuck?
As resourceful as ever, Mr. Chase.
I've managed to keep myself from dying up till now.
Very, very, very wise. And he proposed that his employer, Mr. Hornsby, had a job for us. And so,
Does he now?
Yes, I'm getting to the good part in just a moment. And so, I, being an observant type, have noticed that he is not exactly the person you wish to win the upcoming election. So I was hesitant at first, but then I thought to myself, well, the more we get to know about your opponent, the more it could be beneficial for us. At least this was my thought process. I cannot speak for the rest of the brothers and Bells. So, we went to Mr. Hornsby's, and we learned that he had some suspicions of Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
NPC sheets, wild cards. He's not in the wild card.
You're doing great, Ben.
This is why I need to look at my notes. He had suspicions of the incumbent. We're gonna go with that.
Barker.
Barker, that's it. He had see. I know everybody by who they are, not their name.
Same.
He had
Fair.
suspicions of the incumbent being hand in hand. Oh, this is the best standout I've ever seen. He had some suspicions of the incumbent being hand in hand with some specific a specific cult, and so obviously, it was interesting to hear, but surely he has no proof, and indeed he had none. He only had a lead to go off of, so he asked us to pursue this lead, and we have done nothing to pursue it yet. But all that we know is that on our way back from said house, from said meeting with Mr. Hornsby, is that see, I can talk stupid, but I can't talk smart. Is that there was an attempt on our lives by the said cult. And see, that would be interesting, because there was only one other way for them to know that we were there. And that is one Mr. Samuel Dean. one Mr. Dean. And so, sure enough, after we took down the assassins, they were not very good at their job. They sent only one man. Classic mistake. Honestly, it's quite offensive.
Classic
Underestimating
blunder.
as such. But we were doing pretty good. And we found a note on the corpse. And that note, I show it to him.
Okay. When you show the note, when you like try to hand him the note, he looks at Blake, and Blake picks up the note
Yes.
and just kind of whispers it to Chase.
Yeah. And we had a friend of ours do a shut up, Mijo. We had a friend of ours do a little bit of investigation of the infernal type. She says it's a bit quieter, but like still so she can hear it. But just like she doesn't really want to tell everybody there's a huckster in their party. And he realized with some infernal guidance that the note was written by none other than Samuel Dean himself. So that is all we have gathered so far. We originally, quote unquote, she uses originally in quotes, came here to gather information on the we originally came here to gather information on the Barker family and see what sort of information we could get from them. But our actual purpose here was to see if we could find anything out about Samuel Dean, as I believe it could be so much more suspicious if Hornsby's right-hand man came under fire. That would be highly damaging to Hornsby's own career as a politician. And I
That's a
thought
lot.
knowing how you are highly tied up in this. Shut up, Jesse. I know that as you are highly tied up in this procedural election yourself, I feel like you ought to know this.
That's a lot of information at once, Miss Ward.
That was-
I've given you a Benny for for doing it.
for distracting.
Struggled so hard.
He moves you so that you guys are both facing the wall. He says, "Blake, get a drink for Miss Ward." And
I don't drink,
after
thank you
that.
very much, though. Actually,
Then-
I would like a drink, thank you.
Bert just kind of nods and storms off. One of the waiters sees him, and starts running into the crowd. Just get back here! And chases after him. It says, Miss Ward, I do need to tell you up front that I am aware that you guys do take jobs from other employers as well. You are not particularly under my exclusive employ. You don't have to worry about that.
Pog.
I do have to mention to you, I believe you might have wrong standing on Mr. Barker. I don't know what you think his standing is in this race, or if there's any chance he could lose. I assure you there's not. But from the way it sounds, you do know already that I back him, which I suppose is not too hard to learn with all the posters that his administration has decided to put up this time around. I have an inkling that perhaps you have some misguidings of why I back him. So to enlighten that a little bit, and Mr. Barker has a rare trait in this town that he is capable of dealing with many different types of shit without giving into it. And that makes him a very, very valuable man. I keep him in that office because nobody else in that office could handle his position. As I think you can see, and he points you over to where Samuel is with Barker and the woman as well, and he says, "The candidate who has hired you this time around is not even here at the." Isn't that kind of strange?
That is quite strange indeed.
Yes. So, I would say, if you're gonna put your money anywhere, I'd put it in Barker. I've been doing it for 20 years now, and he hasn't led me astray.
Nice.
I have no such doubt that this person you want to win will win the campaign, Mr. Chase.
I will say, should you find information that should be of importance to your client, I would hope that I could be seen as a client as well.
Oh, Mr. Chase, we are under your employment first and foremost. We have not forgotten the position you put us in.
That's good to hear. Now get along now. Any champagne that Bert brings back is bound to be poisoned.
I have no doubt that is the case, and she curtsies and walks away.
Yeah, he leaves, watches you go. He waves his hand again, and the crowd comes back towards him.
That's a man with power.
Did he bring a whole crowd by himself? Like he hired a
It's
crowd
Noah, but with
just to be
people.
around him. That would be amazing.
Hiring groupies.
All right.
It's his protection
Is that what
crowd.
Aaron is
He's
doing?
hiring homies.
That's what Aaron's doing when Aaron needs his faith bucks.
Can we
Okay.
have a small, back to the flock moment?
Just
in a little
swap
bit?
to the flock outside. Hold on, let me do a change in music.
Oh god, it's the Mission Impossible
Yeah.
theme.
Outside in the yard. The guards look at the flock, and one of them asks, "Do you guys want a blanket or something?"
Can we get a blanket?
The light of the Lord keeps us warm.
Oh,
I
I
assure
do
you,
not need.
if you put me under a blanket, you will never see me again. FYI, my guy's personality is he's so full of himself that he thinks he can do so much, but he never does anything. That's who he is.
They
You'll
toss him.
never see me again.
They
Where the fuck he gonna go?
I'm gone, bitch.
the guard knocks on the window, and a maid can be seen like approaching. She opens it and says, "Can you just get us some blankets and water?"
Dang. The fuck was
Shut up.
And our camera
Brenna.
goes back to the party.
There's a small lump under one of the blankets. That's like he's crouching. But
What's
You'll
the
never
lump
see
then?
me again.
Yeah. We are
It's-
going to keep
it's
going.
right.
If everyone's okay with it, we're going to keep going without a second break.
I'm totally fine with that.
Let's go.
Okay. So, you all return to the party, or we return to the party as the camera. I would like to see Howie and Indiano. Would you guys like to approach the four people who like with you, or would you like to split off in different directions?
I will approach, I suppose.
In the
Yeah, I guess
background,
so.
we see Bo like jumping between a fence to get to a new vantage point. All right, so you
Alright.
approach. You see there are four gentlemen here. They introduce themselves. One of them is actually familiar to you. You remember seeing this person in the fuck, what was the name of it? The house, the Denver house? Yeah, the Denver house. It is Nellie Becker, Miss Becker.
What a woman.
Before you approached, she appears to have been in a heated conversation with another a man. She's talking with him, says, "I'm just saying, if we worked together, there would be no one to be able to tell us no. We'd be able to get our own prices, and Chase wouldn't have a word in it." And he says, "I suppose you lower your voice, Miss Becker, before you find a knife in your back." And they're like having a slightly heated conversation. They stop it when you approach and like just greet you. The other two there, I'm just gonna say their names. Virgil Hall, Herbert Grimes, and the man that Becker was talking to is Barney Ford.
Good evening, my children.
Children, says Ford.
All are my children in the eyes of the Lord.
Great.
Well,
Strong
on
start. Strong
that
start.
note,
on that, go have a nice day.
yeah, Howie would like to abandon ship now.
This is how he leaves.
He was gonna
Um,
say something, but he doesn't want to deal with that.
But
Virgil
why?
or Herbert Grimes speaks up and it says, "Tell me, Father, I hear. What exactly is your opinion on sinners?"
Well, I believe all can be redeemed in the eyes of the Lord, but that's up to the individuals to decide when they would wish to be redeemed.
I suppose. Well said. I'm more curious in if you have any ideas on their position in society. I was having a conversation with Mr. Hall here about the population of sinners in this city and perhaps better uses for the city for them.
How do you figure?
Gulag.
Well, I suppose sinners could be very well used for lucrative purposes from sides both above and ground, and for beneficial purposes for the city, and I believe Mr. Hall shares some similar views with me, though with a different perspective and different method.
I would suppose it'd be up to the individual to decide their path, but it depends on what sins they've committed, I suppose. Some
We
sins
leave-
are
yeah.
harder
We leave
to
that
forgive.
conversation. We leave that conversation going as they start talking about sinners and their uses of society. Howie, where are you going?
I'm gonna take a look at the house mansion. I'm just gonna
Okay.
like take a look at it and see where the guards are, if there's any like patterns in the patrol thing.
There's a guard
they do.
posted on the door, the patio door. There's a double door that leads into the mansion. There are 4 windows that look into 2 rooms. In one of the windows, you see a library where there's a man sitting down reading books and a guard posted in the corner just lazily watching. In the other room, you see is a dining room where there's currently maids frantically preparing food. And there's a guard in the corner also just lazily watching. As to see that though, you would have to approach the patio. You'd have to get on the patio, which would bring you around Barker, his mistress, and Samuel Dean. Barker calls out and says, "Isn't this one of the people you invited to my nice party, Mr. Dean?" He responds, "Yes, one of Mr. Hornsby's guests. I again am sorry that he could not be here today. He had an important calling in the moment." And Barker, clearly already drunk, says, "It's no big deal. It's my party, not his. Why would he come?" Like, takes another drink, and the woman beside him just kind of tries to get him to settle down a bit. Important calling in the moment. How about you come over and join us?
Oh yeah, sure. Might as well.
She said, "Oh yeah, sure."
Oh,
Nice. Oh yeah.
How has y'all's day been so far?
Swell. Nothing too bad happened this morning. I am kind of hungry. Do you know? And he turns to like the woman beside him. Do you know when they're supposed to serve food? Is it on my command? She says, yes, it's whenever you would feel is correct. Says, go tell him to serve the food. And like, she lets go of his arm, looks at the guarded door. He's like, I got it. Just opens the door and heads inside and closes it behind him. He turns to you. So anyways, how exactly do you know Herman? Drink.
Well, you see, we were,
Dean speaks up. He says, work associates. He helped in the last campaign planning.
yeah.
Campaign planning is such bullshit. Drink. Throw. Give me another one.
Drink.
Like
Throw.
3 butlers start rushing up. In the crowd, you can see Bert Blake has a tray of champagne that he's bringing back to Chase through the crowd, like working his way through, like, excuse me, coming through. And then like someone bumps into him and he makes him drop and he's like, fuck! Starts like look around for another waiter. Barker continues. He says, I've always had other people handle all these stuff for me. I don't even want this position. Samuel Dean says, then perhaps you should just relinquish it to our candidacy and we'll take care of it for you, Mr. Barker. Says, fuck Hornsby. That guy is such a twerp. Drink.
I love his
words.
man.
He had, and he like points it at Dean, who kind of just like takes a step back a bit and says, your boss has no backbone in his entire body. He wouldn't last a fucking day in Denver. Drink. Says, what about you? Points it to you. Says, you have backbone?
I'd say I'd have a little bit of backbone in this old frail body of mine.
He looks around. He says, let's test your metal. Reaches into his coat, pulls out a gun.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Holds out its pistol to you. And he says, he looks into the crowd and he says, that one. Points to, he points to, David J. Cook, the police chief. And he says, shoot the glass out of his hand.
What the fuck? What
Okay.
the fuck?
Do it.
Okay. I would like to take an aimed shot.
Alright, you're gonna make a called shot at the glass.
Yeah.
Aim first.
Aim it up. You aim up the shot. I need you to make a D20 or a shooting roll. And it is at, let's see. I think
wants to
this
aim,
would
though,
be
right?
I think this would be a -2 after aiming.
Do I get to aim?
Yes, you get to aim. He gives you that time.
Okay. Please do not crit fail, whatever happens.
You shoot the police chief.
I will use the Benny.
Okay.
Wait, no. How far is a success?
It's at -2 after aiming.
Okay. Yes!
Ooh.
13.
Yes!
Okay. You aim it up. You fire at it. The glass explodes. Everybody flinches and looks at it.
I would
except-
like to give the gun to Samuel Dean.
Samuel
Like quickly,
Dean.
like just right in his hands.
Yeah, he takes it. So he like looks at you, just like hands it back to hands it to the person that's with Barker. Everyone like flinches at it and looks back, except Chase does not flinch, and neither does Barker, who's like, yeah, suck it, and like hurls the new bottle into the crowd.
What the fuck?
I love this town!
You got metal. The police chief is flustered. He's angry. But he sees that Barker has done it, and you notice, and everyone notices that the police chief doesn't do anything. Just calls for a new glass, and like angry, like stare at eye, sipping on it.
Is he staring
Slams
at
it
me
down.
or Barker?
You can't tell.
Okay.
And he looks back at you. You got metal, kid. What was your name again?
Howie.
Howie.
I'm with the Brothers and
Howie.
Bells. If you ever
Howard
have
Taft.
anything that needs doing, give us a call.
I'm
do you
gonna
have a
remember you, Howie. Pats you.
business card of some sort?
He's already drunk to the point of memory loss. There's no way he's gonna remember us.
I'd like to give him a business card if we have one.
Yeah, you can give him a business card.
We do.
Catherine, the
behind him.
person that's with him, takes it and she says, I'll actually hold on to that for him.
She like the guy takes it. He's like, ah, tosses.
So he's like patting me on the back and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Can I like look for a key or something along?
You want to try to
those
pickpocket him?
lines? Yeah, what could go wrong?
Roll thievery.
Oh god.
Mm.
Ew.
What could go
Please, if any.
wrong?
Hold on, let me check something.
And life is a nightmare.
Would you consider this an urban environment?
Does that change anything?
Possibly. If you say yes, it does.
It is technically urban. We are in Denver.
Okay, well, I'm gonna use this here card to get the thief edge.
Okay.
So
For the rest of this encounter, let's take a look.
does
at
that
the
mean
thief.
through the heist or for this little bit here?
We'll find out, I suppose.
Okay. Alright. Find out. Page 49.
Thief. I'm almost there. There we go. +1 stealth. +1 to thievery in all circumstances. All
And
right.
1 to stealth rolls in urban environment and climbing rolls in urban areas.
All right. So make your thievery roll at +1. That is a success. I am going to have to roll for both Dean and Catherine and Barker, though his is not going to go well. Let me roll for Barker first.
I'll throw another bit in there.
Barker does not notice.
That's all I'm putting in there.
All right, we will roll for Catherine.
He's a -4.
He's very drunk. Roll for Catherine. Catherine doesn't seem to care in the moment about anything.
Same.
You do notice, getting up close, Catherine is much younger than Barker.
Great.
I would
Trophy
very
wife.
much assume so. Not even a wife, he's not wearing a ring.
Trophy
And then
woman.
Trophy
we roll,
miss.
Trophy girl.
we roll for Dean,
Who's
who
a
I have a stat block for.
Yeah, of course you do.
do.
You know we're gonna
Oh,
kick his
shit.
ass later.
That's a tie.
That ties.
We win. Pulse-
Dean notices.
That's a tie,
Um,
though.
I'm gonna say he notices. It doesn't matter. He's not gonna stop you. You're doing a purpose he hired you for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Dean like logs it, and speaks up, and he says, or he doesn't say anything. He doesn't need to. He just lets it continue as normal. You manage to pickpocket some keys and bring it into your pocket before they make too much noise as you hide them away. Yeah, so okay. Yeah, the doors then open up, and a servant comes out and announces, "Food is ready and will now be presented to the guests. Please make an orderly line." Barker yells out, "Chaos!" and throws another bottle.
Fuck!
And people start bringing out.
Guy.
New waiters start coming out with food to bring around the party. It seems that people aren't being guided into the mansion. The food's being brought out, but the doors are now open, and the guard is no longer occupying it.
Gotta open up the gate.
Bo,
Bo.
you are on the fence.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Bojangle.
He's got to make a decision. He's on the fence about it, though.
Bo, roll battle for me.
Oh. Dude.
Okay. Bo, you're on the fence. You're looking for a way in, potential ways in. You're not seeing easy ones. You could climb onto the roof and see what you can do from there. But it seems like your main option is just going to be hurling yourself through a window.
Yeet.
Any of them unlocked? Are they all locked?
You want to go around and check?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to roll... I'm going to have you roll another athletics. All right. You make your way to the closest window. You try to open it up. It doesn't budge.
Just the closest one? How many windows are
Yeah.
there?
A lot. It's a mansion.
Let's go to the roof.
Okay, so you're going to
Nothing
jump
to
onto the roof.
Yeah.
You leap onto the roof. I think some of your party members have started to like wonder, hey, where's Bo? So they know to look up and they like see you up there. You also notice, you see up there, Chase has logged you and like just raises a glass and sips it and just like watches you. Doesn't raise his head, but like his eyes are watching you.
Give a quick wave and look for a way in.
Yeah.
Like, hello.
You eventually find an open window on around the rooftop on the second floor.
All right, I'll hop in.
All right.
He's going to sneak around and look for an office.
All right. Mijo, I'm going to bring you into the manor now.
Oh no.
Let's see.
You just bringing me? Do I get my own
Just
special
you.
layer?
You're the only one there. Bing.
Mijo's a special boy.
All right.
Yeah, because he's got a bunny.
Bo, you find yourself on a
Right.
very uninteresting second floor and start quickly moving your way down. There's most of these rooms are empty, unused, or long forgotten, and a lot of them look like servants' rooms. Heading to the stairs, at the top of the stairs, you can start seeing down. You see a guard in the foyer has fallen asleep. Through some doors over here. I don't know if I let those doors see through. I did leave them see
They
through.
are
That's
open.
fine. Yeah. They're currently closed. You can hear noises through them. You hear someone frantically moving around the kitchen and yelling out to someone else in the room. Says, "How am I supposed to cook well if I'm being watched by some hoodlum?" And the other voice says, "I was told by Mr. Foreman to make sure no one sneaks in here and poisons the food for our guests. You're gonna have to deal with it." And there's a lot of back and forth yelling from the kitchen.
So basically what I'm here to do, but... Alright, so...
Well, you're not there to
So
poison
this guard
the
here
food.
is asleep then.
He is asleep.
Okay, so Bo's gonna sneak out.
That is the top
Right,
of the
here's
stairs.
Oh, it's the top? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and this guard is awake, but he's sleeping. He's looking the other direction.
He's not looking at you.
Okay, so Bo's gonna sneak out. And up here, this is a bedroom up top here.
Yeah, so where you
Doors
currently
are completely-
are is where the doors have opened. Like down here is where the open doors are. So Howie, you see Bo in the house.
Okay.
He's just behind all the guards.
So, can I ask Barker if I can use the bathroom?
You say, I would like to use the bathroom. Catherine says, Catherine says, "Oh yeah, you can find it." And you see she starts to turn towards the house.
What makes
I'd
it
like to
bad?
like start coughing, like obnoxious. Oh man, breathe it. Air went in the hole.
Bo
Make a
makes a dash for the
performance.
bedroom.
Make a performance check.
Bo's dashing for the bedroom, seeing this shit going down.
Okay.
I'd like to use a Benny. That's all we're getting.
God.
We're at a 2. All right. Your performance doesn't. They're like, "Are you okay? Someone get him out of
Water.
here. He's
Water.
he looks sick." And they start like pushing you. Some of the like guys come up and start leading you off of the patio a bit over here.
Does Bo make it somewhere into cover?
Yeah, Bo, you're able to manage to. Bo, I need you to make a stealth check because it wasn't good enough of a distraction. It didn't buy you much time. You are fine. Like a shadow.
He no longer exists.
Right.
Bo, you
He's-
make it to that door. It is locked.
What kind
Um,
of lock is it?
Is a door lock.
Cool. Well, that sucks. I don't have lockpicks.
You do not. Someone else does. So navigating to the rest of the party, what are you guys up to?
That
I'm-
conversation.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
That conversation that Ginny was overhearing, she would have gone to get a drink and then just kind of like stood at a very awkward distance from them, like obviously listening, but not actually part of the conversation, just like watching, not trying to hide the fact that she's listening at all.
So
Just being an awkward on
you
purpose.
listen to him for a little bit argue about American politics, and I need you to roll an academics.
Wow, I don't have academics, actually.
Shucks.
Reminder of Hugh Tucker.
Oh, what a guy. Love him.
What a man. Oh, does he have the dogs with him? If he has the dogs with
Dogs
him,
are
I'll
not
pet
with
the
him.
dogs.
This is
Damn.
Damn.
actually so
What's the
sad.
point?
Yeah,
What's the
point?
point, yo?
I don't have academics, so I'm gonna do
Unskilled.
I guess.
Oh hell yeah!
7.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. You manage to keep up with a lot of what they're saying, and you realize, first off, they're not paying attention to you. They're
That's
fully
good.
focused on each other, and you notice, you pick up the
Stick with it.
details, and you realize the person Hugh Tucker is talking to is A, from the South, B, he is a Texas Ranger.
Oh.
Oh.
And their conversation is more specific about it's kind of like who has the better practices, the U.S. Marshals or the Rangers.
Oh. Okay. Ginny is going to be fighting the urge to say something, but near the end of their conversation, she really can't help it. Her impulsiveness takes over. She's like, well, I think the marshals are doing a mighty fine job of keeping this city safe.
They turn to you, and Hugh is like, "That's
I smile.
that's right. Who are you?" They're like both like looking at you.
I'm Virginia Jones Sutton. It's nice to meet your acquaintance.
They both shake the hand. From first notice, Hugh does a strong shake. Peck's handshake is stronger.
Great.
You don't know if on purpose.
I'm gonna try not to. I'm not gonna let my face make it known that I realized to that.
This is well, I'm Hugh Tucker. Most people call me Hustler
Yes, sir,
Tucker.
I've seen you around these parts. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I work too hard. That's one benefit you have over me, Ranger. You don't have to deal with city folk. Peck is like,
Hey, we're not that bad.
Peck says, I suppose I could agree with that, Mr. Tucker. Tucker responds, that's Marshall Tucker. Marshall Tucker. Takes a sip and says, yes, it is nice not to have to deal with the rabble of civilian folk, though I do manage my own, much that you don't give me credit for. I am in charge of an entire territory, unlike you, who is 1/10 in charge of the city. And their conversation continues, but now they're like both facing you while arguing.
I kind of like, I'm looking around, you know, and I'm like, oh, well, like I interrupt their conversation. So, are you guys supporters of Barker? Like, who are you guys going to be voting for or supporting?
Marshall answers, Hugh answers first. He says, I'm in support of the man. I don't suppose I really care about who wins per se, though I think Barker will require less paperwork on my part. That's always a benefit. Whichever one makes my job easier is fine for me, because my job stays the same regardless. Peck answers, he says, I'm actually fairly new in town, so I don't rightfully know a lot of the politics in here. Just Texas Ranger gets you many open doors.
Right. Are you going for law enforcement here, or?
Oh no! I have my own business in the city. That require a careful eye.
Oh, like a private investigator?
Something like that, yeah. Tucker answers, he says, careful eye, he says, this man couldn't watch a fly. Says, you're just here to float your dick everywhere and pretend like you own the place.
Oh, gentlemen, you're both pretty. We have common interests. Y'all will be all right. And I like pat both of them on their shoulders just to make sure they're really uncomfortable. And then I'm like, well, it was nice meeting y'all. Have a good night.
They both tip the hat at the same time. Like, look at each other.
I'm going to go find Willie. I want to tell about the situation it just created.
As you start to leave, you notice at the same time that they do when they tip their hats, they're wearing the same hat. It seems to piss them both off.
I turn around and say, hey, what did I say? Common interests. Nah.
You move on. You make your way back to... Is Ethan gone from this realm? No,
his eyes open.
No, it's nothing with you. It's just I saw Mijo talk about it. You want to go find Willie?
Yeah.
All right. You navigate through the crowds. You pass William Byers and Bishop Maccabeuf. you pass Police Chief Cook, and you eventually find Willie in the crowd.
Wait, I see. Hold on. Wait. I passed the police chief.
Yeah, he's a rather rotund fellow.
You think?
Not as thick as Brother Bud, though.
Yeah, the police chief is a rather rotund fellow. He has like Wolverine hairdo, like the sideburns. Yeah, the mutton chops. He still looks rather pissed. You can see he continues to like stare down at the patio. Drinks, slams the cup down, gets another one, drinks, slams the cup down. This is this champagne.
What is he mad about?
You see the broken cup next to him where a bullet was fired through it.
Right.
Yeah. His suit is covered in champagne from the explosion.
Oh man. I'm just gonna keep going then. I forgot that he was involved in that little scrap. I was about to send him over to Peck and the marshal to like be like, hey, those two are having a very lively debate about law enforcement over there. You should go join him. But he's already having a bad night, so I'm just not gonna.
All right, and you eventually find Willie.
Okay. Yeah.
Willie is in like the corner of like the garden, like kind of out of the way, still sipping on the same glass of bourbon.
Are there any I probably not, but any like devices or anything sitting out, like a clock or like I don't know, something that I could easily take apart?
Not on the patio, unfortunately.
Okay. Oh yeah, I was coming to find you. Yeah, so I sorry, Jesus, it's been a long day. I'm gonna convey to Willie everything that that went down between me and those two gentlemen, and I say, and then I ask her like, hey, okay, so what have you been up to?
Well, do you remember the things I told you about? You know, like the hill things?
The hill things.
Yeah, I tried to suppress that information just because I don't like it. But yes, I remember.
Willie, I think you can still see within eyesight Mr. Alan Williams against the wall, just watching you, his hat down.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like looking over Ginny's shoulder, and my eyes follow him, and I just kind of like give him a sup nod.
He just nods his head a bit and continues to watch.
But Willie continues, and she's like, yeah, it looks like it might be catching up with me a little sooner than I was hoping for. I mean, that's not the point right now, but I wasn't anticipating seeing these fine gentlemen at this party.
Right. Interesting. Okay. Well, what are we going to do about it? Are we going to do anything about it? It's a completely different situation than what we are dealing with currently.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned because I know we was talking earlier about heading over to the Pinkertons to ask Brenna about Mr. Dean, so I am a little bit concerned about it now, knowing that
might not be a smart decision.
Knowing that Mr. Yates is back in town.
Right.
So I believe that while the rest of y'all handle the Pinkerton business, I have some business of my own to attend to. tomorrow.
Are you gonna need a hand? I can totally come with you. I've got some new stuff that I'd like to try.
Well, that's up to you. It will be in the underbelly of the city, so to speak. I wouldn't want to put you in danger where you do not belong.
I don't really like going underground, so
Yeah, it's not a fine place down in the black market, but
you gotta do
hope-
what you gotta do.
I'm hoping that one of my contacts down over in the black market will at least know who Dean usually works for, because I don't think it's Hornsby.
Right. Okay. Yes, we could talk about this with our comrades after the party. But for now, we should try to enjoy ourselves, I guess.
Indeed, I would imagine. And Willie does a quick glance around to pretty inconspicuous, but just to make sure that nobody is within super close earshot.
It's very loud, so it's kind of hard to overhear any conversations just because there's so
Okay.
many conversations happening.
But she says, I believe that it may be time to, do what we came here to do.
What did we come here to do?
Gather information.
Fine. Oh yeah. But that's a good. Yes, I agree. We should go do that. I'm bad at that. Actually, no, I'm not. I make people uncomfortable enough to where they will just fill it. Okay. Ginny's gonna wander back into the crowd and see what chaos she can.
Okay.
Willie
They could
wants,
talk.
Willie wants to see if there's anybody that she recognizes from the black market.
Make a perception check.
Wrong system,
think-
buddy.
Yeah, notice. Sorry. Make a notice check. I think your streetwise gives you +2 for this. I'm gonna say it does.
Okay. Dog. Let's get it, boys.
All right. You notice a busboy is making his way to the patio, and getting ready to head into the house, and you recognize it as a Mr. Flossy guy
Oh, buddy.
Yes.
who's
Yes, look at him.
he heads up to the patio. He says, "I'm gonna get you a new bottle, Mr. Barker." He says, "Yes, thank you. Give that man a raise." Drinks, realizes it's empty, drops it. Flossie heads into the house. And you notice something none of the guests have. You see there is a hammer tucked in his pants behind him.
Bro, what? My man came to rumble.
And you watch
You
watch as he walks into the house. For those that can see the house, he walks over here. Which I think Bo can see that, where that guard was lazily watching before. And he goes up to the guard. I think Bo can see this. I don't think anyone else currently can, but I'm gonna do the theatrics for it.
I'm in
And,
so much danger.
Please
Oh
don't.
no.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm in
Flossie
danger.
goes up to the guard and he says, "Could you help me search this coat rack? The missus needs a coat. It's getting cold out there." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And he opens the coat rack and starts looking in. Flossie takes the hammer out and hits the man in the head. And shoves his body into the coat rack,
Oh,
looks
my
around,
God.
and you watch him run into the bathroom. Or at first he goes into the coat rack and he takes out a bag, hoists it over his shoulder, and while he doesn't see anyone looking, Bo, you're watching from the shadows, he runs into the bathroom.
Yo, he's one of the real G's.
And that is where we will end our session for tonight.
Oh my god. No, what the fuck?
We just heard Flossy guy kill a man.
Oh my god.
Yes,
What
that
the
man is in there.
fuck?
He is unconscious.
I'm a big fan of Flossy guy.
What a guy, dude. My
Actually,
man
I
said,
do-
I gotta go.
I do have to roll the vigor for the guard to see if he lives or dies.
Oh my god.
Who dies? Who tells your story?
I think that
Flossy
means
guy
the
tells
guard.
story. It's
The guard
always
bleeds
Flossy
out.
guy.
The guard bleeds out in the coat room.
Fantastic. Can't wait to find that later.
Get away from kids!
Oh man.
She's trying to bait a girl.
We actually before ending the session there, we have a little bit more time for you guys to get involved into the house. I want to wrap that up first.
Okay.
So we're gonna go just a little bit longer. Starting with Willie. Willie, you watch this.
Oh, so I can see it?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you see this.
Okay, great. No outward reaction. I'm gonna like try and flag down one of the waiters or like the waiters and be like, excuse me, am I allowed to use the bathrooms here?
He says, yes, ma'am. You can find it inside. It's the first door on your right.
All right, thank you very much. And she'll head inside, and she's gonna like glance behind her and like down like hallways or whatever is around this bathroom door. Is this the one that Flossie went into that I would be standing
Yes,
in
it's the
front
one
of?
that Flossie went into.
Okay. I'm just gonna make sure that no one's around, and I'm gonna knock on the door, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, it's Mosley."
Occupied. You hear. He sounds like he's lifting something heavy.
I think we're here for similar purposes, Flossie.
You're
Alright,
using the bathroom.
We move to other members of the party. Who else isn't in there yet? Ginny?
I have stuff I want
Yeah.
to do.
I think I'm gonna hold on, wait, what do I hold on, I'm sorry. What do I have in my I want something small from my bag. Did he take my drill? He took my drill, didn't he?
Yeah. I think he took everything, I have to admit.
Yeah, everything that's like remotely okay. I'm gonna like walk over as close to the doorway as I possibly can. This is not gonna go over well. This is not gonna go over well at all. Someone's like standing by the door.
No one is currently watching the door.
Okay, well I'm gonna
Here,
stand
I'm
over
gonna
there
turn
and,
off.
like, pretend.
I'm gonna throw everyone else on the board. Just gonna throw you guys on here so everyone can kind of see this entrance. And Indiano. Yeah, you guys are welcome to shuffle around a little bit to get a good image of what things look like.
I have
Okay,
real
I'm
quick.
gonna
Is
see-
this over here a library or a book or an office?
It's a library.
Okay. I haven't seen any sort of office around.
No, not currently. You haven't. I'll tell you, metagaming, he doesn't have an office.
He has a party room.
Yeah. No work
It
gets
hasn't
done in
done.
there.
All right,
Y'all
I'm
wanna do
gonna be,
anything?
standing
Can I
over here
just like walk in
pretending-
there?
You know, just try to like casually walk in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll. you start to walk in, and the guy reading books in the library looks up and says, someone bored of the droning conversations outside? You get to about here when he spots you. This guy.
Oh yes, how do you know?
I assume. You want to come in?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah. You pop in. Eustace says, I can watch the books. You can go see if Mr. Foreman needs assistance guarding someone somewhere else. The guard just kind of sighs, nods, and leaves.
Perfect. For what I'm about to do. It's gonna be dumb.
Great.
I'm going to take a sip of my drink, and then I'm gonna act like I have to throw up so violently. I just hold my mouth, and I run into the building, and I run towards the bathroom.
Performance check.
How heavily is this guy sleeping?
Lightly.
Cool.
I don't have performance, so I did unskilled.
Well, that's a fail.
3.
Okay.
You have 4 bennies and the session's almost
Oh,
over.
shit, yeah, I want to use it. I want to use it. Okay. So I get to re-roll it, right?
Yes. That is how the bennies work.
That is indeed the purpose.
Yes. I'm sorry. My brain is not working today.
That's a success.
Better.
That's all you
Hey,
need.
yo.
We did it, boys!
Yay.
People
We're
seem to
in.
buy it for the moment. You run by the library. Howie sees it. Mr. Green speaks up. He says, "Oh, that girl looks like she's seen better days." You approach. Willie's there. Floss is
And I
still like,
immediately
"I
drop
don't know
the
who
axe.
you are. This stall is occupied. Come back later." Like you hear a big thump into the wall.
And I bang on the door, and I'm like, "Hey, Flossie." It's Jenny. What's my name? It's Jenny.
What's
You
my
better
name?
tell her. I said,
One
"You
sip
better
of
tell
champagne
her
and she's
to trust
gone.
you, you little skirt."
Who's this Flossie you speak of? Thump! Another big whack into the wall.
I'm getting ready to break down the door.
Yeah,
Would you
can
like
I
to
just,
try the handle first?
Yeah, maybe.
You try the door handle, the door opens, you see Flossie inside the bathroom with a sledgehammer breaking into the wall.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Willie's audibly gonna say this, like, what the fuck, dude?
He looks over and says, "Oh hey, we're just doing some home renovations over here."
Willie's gonna, like, yank Ginny inside and shut the door.
I would like to do something violent while that's going on.
Something fine.
Not currently, because we're not here to do the manor. We're here to get people in the manor.
Oh, okay.
So Aaron and Rose.
Rose does not plan on going inside the mansion unless everybody is invited in.
Okay, that's fine. If you want to stay outside, you can.
Yep.
Aaron?
I'll enter, but just walking straight in with no, like, aimlessly almost.
Alright.
Just wandering.
A man of the Lord.
I'm gonna roll a d6. Okay, Eustace spots you as well. He says, "Are you doing all right there, Pastor?"
No.
Just wonderful. How about yourself?
Doing fine. if you're looking bored, I've got some good books in here.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
You walk in and Howie's also trapped.
I can get one of us out of here.
Yeah, Green continues.
Trapped by
He says,
social conventions.
normally in these types of parties, Barker doesn't allow anyone in the home, but I don't see the harm in just hanging out here. Not doing any harm.
Thank you.
Or looks at Howie as, at least I don't think so. Not yet, anyways. Like, says as a joke and, like, laughs at it.
Oh yeah, not yet. Wink.
He's already squinting, so you just see one eye just close.
All right.
Yes, I
And-
forgot about that.
So, with our setup, Bo, I'll let you do one last thing since you've been in the manor for a while, and then we're going to end the session.
I don't know if it's going to be a quick thing, so let's wait. Basically,
What
my
do
plan
you
is to
do?
knock that fucker out for real.
All right.
I'm going to cast
So-
Smite on himself. First thing.
Does your smite have a
With-
visual aspect, or is it just you preparing
glows.
for a strike?
So he's going to
glows?
cast it with he's going to cast it with Shroud on.
Okay. So consume the power
But-
points for that. You do have to make a spell casting roll.
Yo. Oh, I got
Okay.
that. It's
That's
plus
a
4 because I got a
raise.
raise.
It's +4. Oh no.
Oh god, this
All
guy's
right.
dead.
So Bo walks up to. It's this guy, right?
Yup.
All right. He is
He's-
sleeping. He gets to make a notice roll at
So I gotta make
-2.
a stealth roll?
Yes. Because if he fails this roll, you will get the drop on him.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm gonna start using some bennies.
Oh my god.
I've been rolling like a madman all session. Holy shit.
I need this
Meanwhile,
man to
rolled
not be annihilated.
7-1.
Come on, guard, wake up, wake the fuck up. Oh,
No.
There we go.
it's 9. Okay. So as you approach,
Hey, Joe,
The
hey,
I'll get
guard-
Joe,
Benny as well.
hey, Joe, you have
fuck.
Benny.
No. No, one more. Fuck. All right,
Joe,
I'll take
you-
it.
Mijo, you have to use up the rest. They all go away at the end of this session.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh!
What are you rolling for?
they're all gone.
Oh, that was a crit failure.
But it's a Benny, so it doesn't. At least it doesn't.
You
think it
nope.
counts.
It's crit failure counts. You can't re-roll
You
on a
have to
crit
use
fail.
conviction.
Well, shit.
Yeah, so you have your one Benny. So on a crit fail, the guard starts to wake up. You realize as you approach, his hand was already on his pistol while he was sleeping. He draws it. Do you have Trouble Magnet?
No.
Okay, cool.
Wait, what
he's-
was his roll? He got 9.
I have
right?
trouble magnet. Yeah.
Nine,
Had-
yeah.
never mind. I
Yeah,
had-
so he draws it. He starts to yell like ah, like, just starts the beginning of a yelp when you throw your attack in. I'm gonna say the critical failure. You are unable to get the drop on him, and next session we will see
I
the
would-
results of that.
I would like to use my adventure deck cards, but I don't want to do it now.
Okay. All right, fine. Yeah, we could do the strike now. I want you to roll athletics versus the gunman to see who goes first. The gunman's unskilled, so
I'm gonna
Benny.
Benny that one.
Christ.
Oh fuck.
Benny. Benny.
okay.
Well,
Oh, is that all your Benny?
Yeah.
y'all.
This
Well.
is so sad.
So, before you're able to get your strike in, the gunman manages to pull his firearm, and you push it off to the side to try to hit it out of his hand, but it goes off. A shot
I'm so
goes
sad.
off, and you can now make your attack.
I'm so sad. It's not even worth it then. It's a 7.
That's a hit.
Unfortunate.
I don't actually have a hit fist. So
Why
it's
not?
gonna be. Oh, I do have the fist. How about that?
No.
12.
It's
plus
plus 4
4.
damage.
So that's 16 damage. Then I'm going to double it with my adventure card here.
Okay.
Oh my
Is this-
god.
I'm guessing this is lethal. It sounds lethal.
I want to crush his throat. The goal was to make it silent, but that didn't happen.
You punch into his neck cracks.
Oh my god.
And now
Uh,
he's really asleep. Grab the gun and run.
He sleep.
Sleep.
We can put that on him. He's not incapacitated. He's dead.
Guy's dead.
This man's also dead now.
Oh my fucking god, she fucking dead.
Alright.
Okay.
And
Oh my god.
That's what he
Oh my
needs to
God.
do. I wanted to get the
You-
adventure card out.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
you run. Luckily, I am gonna pull some DM fuckery here, and our camera
No.
comes out. Two people in the bathroom with Flossie guy. We see a freeze frame of them arguing like over while he's like raising his sledgehammer back. We see the camera comes out of the bathroom and goes over the hall. We see Bo getting ready to turn towards another servant who's like coming around this corner to see what the gunshot was. Like around the side, getting ready to ambush the servant along with the dead body, head to the side, slumped
Oh,
in the
God.
foyer. And then
Sleep.
the camera starts coming outside. It's playing like a really sad, like classical music as it comes out. It hovers over to see Aaron and Howie stuck in the library with Eustace Green, who's like carrying on a conversation with them in this freeze frame. And it goes out into and like rotates to the patio. And we see Barker has fired a shot at the police chief again.
Oh my god, dude.
I love him.
Dude, stop.
And we see Rose in the crowd, clearly seeing what has happened in the manor.
Just chilling. Just straight chilling.
As we fade to black for the end of this session.
GG's.
Oh my god.
That's the third time you've ended this session.
This is the second time. Give me credit.
Second
at
time.
least.
No, you tried
There we go.
again.
Thank you for joining us for Dead in Denver, episode 8. For a longer episode this time, since there wasn't a second break. Let's go through our ending remarks. Aarón Indiano is played by Jagger. Bo Lin is played by Mijo. Ginny Sutton is played by Brenna. Howie Euchre Whateley is played by Ethan. Rose Ward is played by Ben. And Willie
Big iron on the
Mosley
hip.
is played by Jesse. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time.
I said you'd have trouble, KB.
Ye fucking ha.